absorbent sweaters and paper knits, cottons and guitars are available, even with colors and styles. Monthly tops and pants for men and boys.